always a possibility. But I think what we've seen from Saudi Arabia is that they've been guiding long time ahead of what they're planning to do. This is not a flash crash increasing production radically from one day to the next. It's about in June saying we are going to lift production in October, and they say, all right, we're doing it in December instead. But it's definitely Saudi Arabia is not happy with the fact that Russia and Kazakhstan and Iraq are producing more than they should. So your friends are not helping. How can you make this work?
What can they do to keep them in line?
I mean, it's a threat about low prices. That is sort of the threat that they are.
Is it working? Will it be working?
Well, at least now they still have like October and November to show that they actually will stay in line and reduce according to plan. But you know, if your friends are not helping you, in the end you might not have a choice.
Mm-hmm. Let's take a look at the oil price overall. Obviously, there's now a geopolitical risk premium in the price of oil. The fear premium, as we call it, though, isn't very elevated. And I guess all of that has to do with the ample supply that we're seeing in the Middle East. So we're not going to go much higher than, let's say, 75. What's your outlook, even if the conflict escalates further?
I mean, it all depends on how the conflict escalates further. And I think it goes without saying that Israel is going to retaliate after the latest Iranian attack. And it's going to happen within like 5 days, probably, before October 7, the one-year anniversary for the attack in Israel. So it depends on what is going to happen with that attack. Is it going to be like a feeble attack like we saw in April and then all quieting down? Or is it going to be a more violent attack going after military installations, potentially nuclear installations, and oil installations are also on the table? I think this is what is bugging the market at the moment. What is really going to happen? How forceful will it be? How damaging will it be? Is it going to be an escalation and then an escalation yet again? Or is it going to quiet down after the coming retaliation from Israel?
But again, you still have the backdrop of ample supply in the market, not just in the Middle East, but also in the U.S. And if Donald Trump returns to the White House, there's going to be even more supply on top of the record supply that we're already seeing. What does that extra factor of uncertainty mean for the oil price?
I think immediately we are talking about spare capacity in OPEC+. On paper, 6 million barrels. In actual terms, readily available, 5 million barrels per day. And if we lose all of Iranian exports of crude and condensate of more than 2 million barrels per day, you know, OPEC Plus can readily replace it. But it would draw down the spare capacity to 3-4 million barrels. So that would strain the situation. It would lift the price. And also, if that happened, you really took out the oil installation in Iran, forced down the exports by 2 million barrels, then the next question in the market would be, what will happen now in the Strait of Hormuz? And that, of course, would then add a significant risk premium to oil in that.
Where? What price are we looking at?
I mean, if you take out installations and Iran, easily you go to $200 plus.
Wow. Okay. Well, currently we're at 71 and 75 for Brent crude. What I'm trying to understand about these prices is obviously there's the fear premium, the geopolitical risk premium in there, or is it all just short covering? We had a guest on the program yesterday and he said the market is simply excessively short.
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely a little bit about short covering, but you know, it's surprisingly weak oil prices given the scenarios that might sort of play out in the Middle East. And you know, we stayed comfortably at $85 for 1.5 to 2 years. And we bottomed out at 68.68 in early September, and we are only up $6 on these sort of potentially devastating scenarios in the Middle East. So it's this very meager rebound as of yet. So if you really have some short covering and you escalate further, then of course you're going to bounce up more.